What are some of the tax benefits and write-offs you can do if you have a tea business? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. This is a specific response to one of our 1099 contractors. He went from being an employee who works at our cafe and warehouse to now selling his own teas and herbs under the Zen's Tea House name. Eventually he's going to go to a franchisee, and we have 5 franchisees, and they know all about the tax benefits. And I'm going to share with you how you can write off some unique expenses that are associated with a tax business. Now, if you are running a tax or a tea business, know that it depends on what kind of business you have. If you're only online, there's going to be less write-offs. If you have a mobile service, whether you're doing pop-up events, festivals, then there's going to be more write-offs. If you have a cafe, there's a lot more write-offs. And if you have a warehouse and you're drop shipping and all that fun stuff, you have more write-offs. It really depends on the type of business you're operating. Now, what people like about tea, specifically the write-offs of travel. You can go to a third world country, you could go to another country like in Europe. When my first year I went to Europe for 10 weeks and I wrote up my business plan there. Now, granted, it was early on. Your first few years, you don't really have to worry about getting audited by the IRS. I've been audited by the IRS. I've been audited by all the letter companies, and it helps that I have a good tax preparer, Americana Tax Planning, Rose, worked with me. And it also helps that my wife is a corporate tax preparer, and myself, I've taken tax preparing classes. I just didn't finish the credentials because, you know, it's good to know the knowledge. I don't want to practice doing taxes. So if you have, depending on what type of business you have, you can do write-offs. But there's some, even if you have an online business or drop shipping, you can go to countries or different places and say you're doing research. As long as you're discussing business, you can do that. You can go to Las Vegas, Nevada, the World Tea Expo, which is happening next week. You can write that off. The types of write-offs specifically were tea businesses. The biggest one is obviously travel, which can be very luxurious, or it could be just a simple, hey, I'm driving down the street to pick up tea. That's a tax write-off. You can use your phone. You could use your house. If you, I think it's up to 25% depending on the size of the house. You can write off your purchasing of tea and even tea tasting. There are restrictions, but across the board, there are quite a bit of write-offs you can do if you have a tea business. The trick is you don't want any of them to be really high or proportionally outside of industry norms. Industry norms, how are you gonna know that? Talk to other tea business owners. If you want more information, you can email me, Fernando@zenstea.com. If you're getting audited by the IRS, I will not give you any official